Okay, first try, yeah. Good comms. Where's my AC remote? There it is. So, this is day 33. That's what I have written. Day 33 of studying compilers every day. Yeah, I'm occupied tonight, so this stream is just at a bit of a weird hour. There's no Elite Code Daily to do yet. I will just do that on my own time. I have like roughly an hour allocated for stream, so I guess I will just write some tests. Yeah, so last time we finished mem to reg. Where am I? This is in, okay. Oh, my PC restarted, damn it, okay. Let me just, okay. So, last time I got mem to reg working, so we have like real variables now, which is really nice. We don't need to deal with yucky stack variables anymore, and we can just run mem to reg on things and call it a day. This also means that we can just arbitrarily insert stack variables and then construct SSA on them. Who needs tests when you can just write perfect code the first time? That's true, but also I suck at writing code, so unfortunately that is not really a reproducible state that I can really emulate. Let me pull up my notepad real quick. And all my notes were deleted. Okay, well, that's unlucky. I had a couple of tests that I wanted to write, but it's just like 4 tests. It's nothing really too substantial. The other thing I was thinking about is if there's a better way to set up testing for like different combinations of passes, because this test runner is not really extensible in much of a way. So we will have to figure something for that out. And then I also need to like set up unit testing eventually, but that is like a future me issue. Wait, that's not, okay. So I guess I could just like, I could start by just like writing out the tests, or even stealing them from my previous directory that they live in. So these would all go in input. The big one I want to throw in here still is just testing a bunch of like calls, because I think that was the one thing that I didn't really test, and it was like really, really scuffed. So yeah, let's make this call chain. And then let's just we'll just do we can do res and then like res equals, I guess like, yeah, we want to just like call it downwards, I think. So we can do, the fuck? Loud noise, anyway. We can just return 1, and then like, let's just copy this over. We'll just make a bunch of these and we'll just make them call each other. And we'll just make this equal 1. And then, actually, we can do this, and then res equals call first, or call first. And then we'll do that, and then let's actually just, let's delete all of those. And then let's just spam this. third. This one calls second. This one adds 2. Yeah. This one is fourth. This one calls third. We'll make this add 3. Yeah, and then the other use of this sort of test is if I were to do some like crazy like call chain following or something with some analysis in the future. This would also help with that as well. Yeah, so let's do this. 6th, 5th, and then this one we can just make 5. And then yeah, we'll let Clang format do that, yeah. I'll just keep sticking lines in here. And then this one we kind of just want to do main. I know we don't have like just standard int type, but I guess we will deal with that. And off. We can just like add a bunch of these. We can use a lot of language features as well. Do that. Yeah, this is like ugly code, but that's fine. Yeah, we can do that, and I think we're fine. And then we want to actually copy this over to the old test runner, so then we can just use that to generate the regression test comparison files. So steal that, and then we can go here. As we should. I need to change the target. Hi from Brazil. Welcome to the stream. What is this? Oh, we can get rid of that. Maybe I could make like a script that just generates regression output. That might be smart. Or we can even just like, go straight from the main project repository. We can just build bin and then PANNICC, and then the file we want to pass in is in tests, regression, expected, or input, and then call. And then we want to send this to test regression expected call chain dot AST. I guess we can do that for now. And then we need to pass in the AST flag. Oh, wait. Oh, I did it wrong. Whoops. Okay, we can do that. And then HR. And then MIR, I need to turn off opt, I just realized. Why don't you try going in the LLM field? Honestly, I just find compilers more interesting. There's not really much else of a rational reason. We can try to make tests now. Is it not reading them? Okay. Alright, so I just have to rebuild it, I guess. Yeah, I don't really have like I don't have a very concrete reason for not wanting to go into LLMs. I also just like don't really like the direction that that AI engineers have been sort of moving towards. It just feels like I don't really know how to describe it. It just feels very sellout-y. And I'm in CS not for the money. I'm in it because I like enjoy learning about computers and systems, I guess. And I feel like a lot of the AI space is kind of dominated just by like business thinking. So that's not really the life I'm trying to chase. Let's go Fragile. Yeah, let's temporarily take out the. Let's just run without opt for now. So then we can also create the regression output for call chain for that. So we can do this, and then this goes to MIR, I think. Yeah, okay, nice. So now if I make a breaking change, that'll nuke a couple tests, which is ideal because then I can double check it. Yeah, I wish there was a way to make this like less ugly, but so it goes. Anyway, so that's one test added. What else do we want to add? I think this covers the full range of features other than just like binary ops. There was one other big test case I was thinking about, just something that included everything, I think. I think that was the big thing I wanted. I could even just make like a second call chain test as well, I think. Yeah, this is like a little bit silly. I think we could do some more insane stuff with this. Yeah. Let's ask ChatGPT to write some tests. Yeah. So let's give it the range of possible instructions. Given this IR, this SSA IR, give me some tests I can write. Oh wait, this is not what I'm looking for. This is like actual unit tests. Yeah. I might like write a quick unit test actually. That might be useful, at least. We want unit, and then we want, let's make a directory. This will be, yeah, we can just make a pass directory here. Streaming a lot earlier than usual? Yeah. I'm out tonight, so I still gotta get my daily stream in. So yeah, we got a little bit of this here. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do CMake lists for that one. I guess this would go like here. So this would be unit tests. And then I guess we could even glob this. How did I do glob in this file? So we can change this to sources. Yeah, I don't think we need headers for this. This is just straight tests. Yeah. So then, so this is not regression tests anymore, unit tests. And then we can we don't need this anymore because we're not looking for file input, I think. So then we can just do this, I think. So then, how do I want to structure this? I don't really like the way this looks. We can just do front end and then middle and back end, I guess, and that'll be fine. But we don't have a back end yet, so we can worry about that later. I also don't really care about front end test right now. I'm just gonna make this mem to reg thing, I guess. So we might have to like build a little bit of IR by hand, but that's like inevitable. This will also probably just be easier if I write a parser for the IR in the future, but that's not really a top concern at the moment. I think I'll just do that after I build out a couple more passes, because I want to avoid writing parsers as much as humanly possible. mem2reg.cpp. Yeah, let's go back up here. Let's steal some of this. Let's include. So this will be. What does this take? This takes test suite name. So unit test. Yes. mem2reg unit, and then this will be basic, I guess. And then we can just throw in an assert for now, right? Let's just to test this. Does this make regression tests? Oh, whoops. Early stream? Yeah. I'm out for the evening, so I gotta get my stream in somehow. And I don't really want to do like a large build out, so I think it makes sense just to like write a couple tests here and there and call it a day. Yeah, this should work. Wait, what? Why is this not working? I just made the right portion of a retractable mask and it seems cool as fuck. Ooh. You should post it in the Discord. I'd love to see what it looks like. Any good book or resources for compiler design? I haven't like read through any completely just because they're all so dense. But I've heard good things about I think it was like modern compiler design in ML or something like that. It's by like this Appel guy. I don't remember his first name. I think Andrew Appel, but I've heard really good things about it. I had to scramble to finish a project because it was due 11:59. Yeah. Yeah, 12 p.m. is... Surely 12 p.m. is just a typo, but like, damn. Okay, we fixed that. So then what's going wrong here? maybe I need to... Is there something I'm missing here? That's the same directory. It's in here, maybe? Link libraries. Maybe I need to... No, this should include that. Yeah, this should be fine. I'm not sure why this isn't. What? So this is in runner, and then this is in here? What's going wrong? Oh, do I need to instantiate? No, I shouldn't need to. Let's go back to the gtest setup. Gtest quick start. Surely it's in here. Yeah, this should be being found, right? Okay, so is this single braces or is this quotes? I guess this works, so I mean, let's build. No, let's make test. Okay. Sure, okay. How can we make this less ugly? Test change output format. Bro dyes care? It's been this color for a while. Like I got it re-dyed like 2 weeks ago, so it's definitely been a bit. It's just usually hard to see because it's not as light. That makes sense, yeah. It's most definitely the lighting. Yeah, we're staying purple for at least a little bit. Okay, so here we want to. What do we want to test? Let's test pass, and then pass manager. Here we want to import mem to reg, and then we want to include. Actually, no. This implicitly includes mir, I think. So this is fine. So let's make a tiny program. Are you working on one project or multiple in each stream? It's all one big project, but there are so many moving parts to it that it really does not fit nicely in like any sort of short-term format, I guess. Right now I'm working on testing for the stuff that I did for the past couple of days. Actually I can just steal this straight from here. Goal and idea you want to complete? Yeah, spot on. What's your plan once you finish it? It's gonna be a while until I get to that point even, so I'm not really concerned about that. Let's see, how do we make this? Okay. Do you only code 3 hours a day? It depends a lot on the day. Like today, I'm probably only gonna get an hour of time in. Usually I get like 2 to 3. Last night I couldn't sleep, so I made like some small changes here and there, but it was all like really minor stuff, like print output stuff, fixing some like internal naming inconsistencies, just like nothing really like substantial. Okay. So, yeah, there's not really, I need a better way to figure out how to run mem to reg, I guess, as a pass. Or I guess like I need to figure out a better way to test passes, because the current unit testing framework is a little bit limited on that front. Or the current regression testing framework even. Maybe I'd have to just like do something similar to what LLVM does and just like write my own test runner / test parser, which is like a little bit annoying, but I mean it is what it is. I'm not worrying too much about that right now. So yeah, we'll get there later, but for now I think I want to at least get this small level of unit testing. Days where I spend like 5 to 6 hours and then do nothing the next day, yeah. I mean, I think that's fair just because like a lot of things are just like motivation and bursts. But I think it's also easy to, I guess, like, it's easy to be inconsistent with that. So it's like very double-edged. I work currently 8 to 5 coding front end and back end in the company I work, and then I go back and do freelance. Yeah, that seems like really busy. I imagine also like applying to jobs if you I imagine like applying to jobs would also take up a lot of that time. Yeah, 2 to 3 hours is definitely like, I guess like it makes sense from like a hobby perspective. There's also just like a lot of other things I want to do with my time, so like a lot of that also crowds out coding time for me. So this will be, which ones do you want to test this on? Let's look in the instruction set. Binary op. Let's let me think about this. Okay. So this is like annoying because I don't really have a way to parse just directly from I don't have a good way to just directly parse from a file the MIR. So I would need to like literally just write this by hand, which really sucks. So yeah, let's figure out how we want to do this. This does not bring me joy. We're gonna actually just steal code from we're gonna steal code from the front end actually in this lowering thing. Actually, I lied. This really sucks. This this is not enjoyable. So we're actually just gonna forgo all of this work that we did in here. But we're gonna keep this emic list because I'm gonna do something with that eventually. For now, I'm just gonna be lazy and I think I'm gonna add a thing to runner here. Maybe I move runner outside here. But this is also just like intrinsic to regression tests, I guess. Maybe I could make a subdirector here which is like full, and then I could do like pass or something. I don't know. Honestly, doing what you're doing is a good way to make sure consistent. Yeah, I think that is like pretty much the big reason I started streaming. It was just really hard for me to stay consistent with it otherwise, just because there's like 3 billion things competing for my attention at once. And this is kind of a good way just to like force myself to, I guess, spend some time, at least just writing some semblance of code. I think what you're learning and wanting to accomplish is harder. That's why I think you're smarter than me. I disagree. I think it's just like different skill sets at the end of the day, for better or for worse. Yeah, I think I would also like, I have a lot, as much as I like shit on front end work, like for instance, I have a lot of respect for front end devs because they are good at something that I don't have the heart to be good at, I guess. And that is just like really cool to me. Okay. Let's make a mem-to-reg pass, or mem-to-reg test. Is there a good way to, how do we do this? Maybe I could like include a separate file, which is like a .passes thing or something. Maybe that could be like the scalable way to run this, but let's see. How do I have this set up right now? So we have like a read buff. Oh, but parse just straight up takes a path, so we can't really do much with that. Maybe I could split up parse into like parse file and just like parse file and like parse stream maybe. And then that would make it so I could have like a pre-processed line in some of these. That might be interesting. I could think about doing it like that. Alright, like I have some coursework fencing out with other hobbies, but the fact that coding projects will contribute to future ads motivation, yeah. I also think like if you're working on a project that like you genuinely are passionate about, or like is like pertinent to you in some degree, I think I guess if it's like if it's interesting to you, you will naturally want to work on it. And like full stack I think is interesting in the sense that like you just end up making something. You guys are cool people that motivate me to become better. I can't wait to see you stop streaming. Yeah, hopefully that's sooner than later. But if it ends up just being forever, then I also can't really complain because streaming is quite enjoyable. Do you prelex or parallel with parsing? I guess it's parallel. I just use a parser generator. Yeah, I use Pectool for this. So I think I will update this to be parse file, and then, or I can even overload it, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So this is a string, and then I also want to do like file stream. I think that's the type. Yeah. Let's look up the Pectool interface. Where's the examples in this doc? Inputs, okay. stream inputs. There we go. Okay. So C stream input and I stream input can use parts from C streams and C++ streams. Okay. So we should just use I stream input then, right? Surely. Do not read the complete stream. Okay. Buffer input. Okay, well, let's give it a file stream then, I think. That might be the play. So this takes an iStream, which I think is what we want anyway. At least that's what we do when reading things in the runner. Yeah, I really don't want to write unit tests because I would have to build all of the memory representations just completely by hand, and that seems quite annoying. It will be important for correctness at some point, don't get me wrong, but it seems very unscalable, I guess. Okay, so where do we read the file again? It's up here, right? Yeah. IF stream. What is an iStream and IF stream? I see, okay. So we can give it an iStream, I think. And that will be fine. So this will take a iStream. This will be input stream. And then I think that's good. Do I need to include anything? I guess not. Okay. So let's do that. So this will be input stream. So let's go back here. Yeah, so we have input stream and then, yeah. So we want a memory input, okay, file input. And then what we want here is stream input. I don't know which of these we want. Okay. Is your GitHub linked anywhere? Yes, it's in the description, I believe. Yeah. Let's steal one of these. Let's take this one, I think. iStream. Oh, this should not be caps. It's iStream input. This will be right. So this takes input stream. What is maximum? GitHub be looking green? Yeah. That's what happens when you stream daily and commit daily, I guess. Okay, let's look up petal iStream input. mark green for string, then blank. Yeah, that was kind of how it was last year as well. So don't feel bad about it, I guess. There has to be a better way to do this, or at least like an example somewhere, surely. Examples. Where are the examples? Okay. Incremental input. I think that is what we want here. Single contiguous blocks of memory. Incremental can be used. Buffers filled automatically, blah, blah, blah. This actually makes a really big mess, which is a really big problem, actually. I just realized this really sucks. Yeah, there's not really a good way to read, I guess, read input here. So I'm actually gonna not make this change. Yeah, so where am I? Okay. So I think the change what I will do to figure out which passes I want to run on each test, I think I will add a separate passes file. And then each test I will run with the passes that it asks, and then I guess without the passes independently. And then we will save output for both of those. So then, how do we parse this? It feels a little bit stupid to use a whole parser generator just to parse like which passes to run. Yeah, that's gonna be what I do here, I think. So let's take. We'd also need to. Yeah, we would need a field which is like passes to run. Create object with of type in screen. Wait a second. Wait. Any number of classes derived from base interface. Yeah, okay, so I'd have to just map that by hand, which is annoying, but sure. Okay, so let's give that a try. So let's do test P regression test MR. Let's call this MR opt, I guess. Passes, I guess. Welcome back, Big Bro. I'm doing all right. Today's an early stream because I gotta be somewhere in like 15 minutes, so I gotta head out in 15. Do you drink caffeine? I thought about it. I didn't think it was really worth it, to be honest. It just feels like it feels very much like a sunk cost, and like sometimes I feel like it is necessary, like if we just have like a really shit night of sleep, but that's less like a you should drink caffeine and more just like a you should get sleep. So yeah. Let's do MR and then with passes. With passes, and then we can also do all of the lower level ones with passes as well. We also want this to hide skipped, so because that's also been kind of annoying me a little bit. So is there a way we can make, what's it called? C-test? G-test, hide, skipped. What GPU are you running? It is a 4070 Super, I think. Yeah, if you're going for a Linux machine, I would honestly recommend AMD over NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA's drivers are always a little bit NVIDIA's drivers are a little bit finicky, at least in general. G-test, hide skipped tests. Surely there's a way to do this. Flowers Edition 1080? Ooh. Yeah, the 1080 is nice. It's quite classic. Compatibility issues? What do you mean? Like with specific programs or just like in general? Let's do G-test brief. Yeah. With certain apps in general? Yeah, fair enough. The big thing for me was I couldn't use like Microsoft Office anymore. So there's this nice thing called WinApps. It's like this nice GitHub repo. It basically sets up a Docker container to run your Windows apps in, and it uses RDP to make it seem native like, and that's what I use, and it's pretty seamless actually. I would, if you're interested, I would suggest like maybe dual booting and like giving that a shot to see if it fits your needs. There's like one repo which is like not maintained, but the one under like WinApps proper I think is still maintained. So I would look through that one. Where's test? This is test. Let's do that. Oh, unit test doesn't exist. What happening? What? Yeah, we can run with G-test brief, I think. Yeah, of course. Why is this frozen? Okay, sure. So we want... Let's just go in here. We can even comment that out for now. Let's try this again. G-test brief doesn't exist? Ah, god damn it. This is not very helpful. C test, G test, hide skip. Oh, wait, this is a thing? I can do that? Okay, we could give that a try actually. So we put that in here, and then like here maybe? Yeah, let's try that. Did I spell it wrong? No, I didn't. What? Maybe if we put this at the end then? Nope. Oh. This is annoying. This is incredibly annoying, actually. Okay, well, let's just... Let's add this by hand, I guess. So let's add test. This is name, regression test. And then command. What's good, y'all? I am updating my tests for my compiler so I can test the whatchamacallit, the pass manager. So we want command to be regression. What? Okay. Wait, that's not what I want. Yeah, so we want this. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT. How do I get gtest to skip or to omit skipped test output? How long did this take? This refers to what? Running with ctest. Oh, we can... Oh yeah, YouTube doing YouTube things. Oh, I can actually just grep this, huh? Right. Yeah, so there's like a lot of output here, which is what's really annoying me. And I would like to avoid that as much as possible. C-test versus G-test executable. Yeah, C-test really sucks. Do you know Bugro? They've shown up on my stream a couple times. What's good, Kane? Man, I'm like really struggling to figure out how to get rid of this extra output. This is like really bothering me. Did you fix the prompt minister? Yeah. It was a problem in my HR to MIR stuff, actually. I was passing the wrong... I think the wrong value in for the load. Or the store, I think. It was one of the two. Yeah, so my memtorage was fine. It was just the way I was building the R, which is kind of funny. Okay, so we're actually, I think the plan here is we are going to, C-test doesn't really have a good way to skip tests. So we're actually just gonna, we're just gonna run the executable. So we're gonna builder. Actually, we could change directory, and then we want to we want bin, and then we can just do regression tests for now. And then what do we pass into this again? There is a filter. Right, G-test brief. Yeah, okay. Oh, but that's still really annoying. G-test filter. G-test hide skipped test output. So gtest brief doesn't do what we want though. Which is really annoying. This is really, really annoying. Okay, can we like make this less annoying in any way? Compare if file exists. You can even just get rid of this stuff. And then you can get rid of this as well. And then let's get rid of that. Okay, let's do that. I got a dip soon, but I'm committed to fixing this. Okay, so now we can just filter out the skipped lines even. Okay, so let's go back here, and then we want to negative grep. So let's do grep -v and then skipped. There we go. I'm gonna add a search feature for football players. Not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, I believe you can do it. Oh, can we hide the empty lines? Grep remove blank lines. Ah, this is really annoying. Does this work? It does not. Grep multiple patterns. Multiple and negative. -VE? That's a thing? Okay. VE. Let's try that. Surely this works. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I can just cat, right? Does this work? No. Okay. Well. Oh, cat doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll give this some thought off stream. For now, I'm gonna call it here because I do need to dip. So yeah. Thank you all for showing up. If you haven't already joined the Discord, make sure you like the stream and sub to my channel. It really helps get my content out. Yeah, join the Discord. That's the best place to get notified when I go live, or if any of my schedule stuff changes, or just to chat with other people in the community. And you should connect with me on LinkedIn and add me on GitHub. So yeah, take care all. Take it easy.